What's up, everybody? Modern Guru coming to you on Super Bowl Sunday. I will not be watching the game today. I'm just not a big Super Bowl guy. I think it's a corporate orgy of bullshit. I used to love football when I was a kid growing up. Just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of dissipated over the years. Not to say a bad thing about sports. I mean, if anyone just watches sports for their entertainment value, I like baseball and hockey. Um, totally cool. I just think that it's just my personal opinion, but I think if as a human being that if you can name off every single stat of what your players on your team have done over the last 2 decades, then you have a little too much time on your hands, or you're not spending your time in other places to make you a far better, more well-rounded human being in regards to all aspects of life. I meet these fanboys all the time in bars and everything else. Their whole life just completely rotates around sports, and generally they're the most annoying people that you know. But this isn't a crack on people who just generally enjoy sports. I generally enjoy sports. I get it. It's fun. It's good entertainment value. It's good to, just relax a little bit after a long work day, have a beer and watch a game. I get it. I totally get it. It's cool. It's just the people that have no lives and all they do is go on Facebook and talk about sports and their favorite athletes that are actually younger than they are, and they have lives, which these people don't, because that's all they talk about. But anyway, this video is not about the Super Bowl, thank God. It is about what brings value to cryptocurrencies. I had a great question that was posed earlier today by a very good friend, a very old friend that I've had for a long time, going all the way back to high school. And he's kind of been, he's had his interest piqued by these markets, and he really wanted me, he asked the honest question about, well, what is valuable about these cryptos? So let's kind of get into it. First of all, value, this is my definition. Um, Value is anything that someone perceives to, whatever the stimuli, to have value attached to it. So basically, a human being, we're all human beings, but we all have different things we attach value to. For instance, the Apple, he was talking about his Apple wristwatch that he uses Apple Pay on when he goes to like gas stations he feels like are kind of shady or something. He'll use that, which is encrypted and goes around the normal or traditional aspects of money being transferred. And when you go to the gas pump, it's definitely safer. There's a lot of people that have. There's a lot of criminals that have devised amazing ways to steal your shit over the last 20 years, especially in the last 2 to 3. So that has value to him. It doesn't have value to me currently because I don't use it, and I don't think I'll use it in the future, but I never say never. Um, why do cryptocurrencies have value to me? Because I believe that they are the future when it comes to eradicating the bankster empire that's been built over the last 100 and so years, built completely on fraud, money mismanagement, fiat currencies backed by nothing, and just blatant theft from the rest of the global population. This isn't just American banks, this is all over the world. The banksters are entrenched. They've done this purposely. In many ways, they now control many of the governments. They are the governments. Depends on who you speak to, but an argument can be made for that, and very successfully, might I add, when you look at all the facts and the history behind everything that's transpired in the, just in the last 10 years alone. We could go all the way back, but we could just take a decade period, and I can destroy most arguments who feel the opposite that I do. But anyway, moving on, this isn't about that. What this is about is destroying their stranglehold on money. He was talking about how, well, Bitcoin, I can't hold it in my hand like I can gold. Somebody can take gold and make jewelry out of it. Somebody can take gold and physically hold it in their safe, which we do, silver too. But that is something that's totally separate. This is digital currency. It's digital internet monies. These gold can always more gold can be extracted from the ground. In fact, one of the sun just had a coronal outburst, a sunburst, and there was a huge ribbon of gold that came out of it. Gold is not. There's always the ability to find more gold. There's always the ability to find more silver. They're in the earth. It's a little harder than it used to be to mine these things, but they're still available. There's still more that exist. There's more on other planets. Who's to say in 50 years, 100 years, we're not able to travel outside the solar system to another planet? We can always find the Earth and our sun are not the only places that gold is found in the universe, people. Okay, so cryptocurrencies are finite. What does that mean? Let's use Bitcoin for an example. Only 21 million Bitcoins will ever be made. The original Bitcoin core. I'm not talking about these forks or any of this other bullshit. The actual Bitcoin, 21 million. Each time one Bitcoin is made, it becomes harder for the next Bitcoin to be mined. How are they mined? They're mined through computer networks that are all interconnected, and they have different graphics cards. And I don't mine, so I'm not an expert on that aspect of the markets by any means, but I do know a little bit about them. And so each time the algorithm gets harder, and they're harder and harder to produce. But either way, what you need to know is that it costs a ton of electricity to actually mine them, and it also is they're finite. There's only 21 million that'll ever be made. So, is Bitcoin's worth or value? Is it based off the electricity and the work that the computers have to do in order to mine it? Sure, it can be, but it's also based off what people think it's worth compared to fiat money. That's where the price comes in. If you don't believe in fiat, and more people each year that passes become more aware of what's going on in the world and how they're being screwed, the higher the value of digital currencies become. Think about that for a second. When you have something like Bitcoin or Litecoin, those are just two examples. They are in theory, the reason why they were created to destroy the stranglehold that international banksters have over the money supplies. If the world is a human body, money is the lifeblood. It's the blood in the system. It travels everywhere. No organ, no entity, nothing can exist in the body without blood flow. Blood flow fuels everything. So does money in the world's economy. And the bankers are smart, the banksters. They know they have control over all of the money supplies. And that's how they've dominated this planet for so long, because everything, every aspect of economies, and even outside just finance and business, I'm talking about health, insurance, food production, anything you can think of, automobiles, planes, everything, which is our modes of transportation, all the way down to your general workers' salaries at work. Everything is based off money. Money is not evil. Never has been. Its use cases aren't evil. It's the motives behind its use by the people that use it, which determine, based on one's perception, whether something is good or evil. I just happen to think that fraud and Ponzi schemes and enslaving the world in debt is a highly negative thing. There are people that exist who disagree with me and think this is all a great system because they are way smarter and way more powerful than the lower classes who, instead of watching my video today and learning about what's going on, they'll be watching the Super Bowl. I understand that perspective too, but it is what it is. And I'm fighting, and the people that created these things the developer, most of the developers, a lot of the techs, a lot of the founders, these people, it's a lot of libertarian leanings. It's not only libertarians. I don't want, there's a lot of hippies and there's all kinds of different people involved in cryptocurrencies. But the reason why these things came about was to try to change the world. And, to be honest with you, I have some reservations about all of this. Do I believe in my fellow human beings when a push comes to shove? I don't know. Can't answer that question. What I've seen, recently in the last 4 or 5 months is, a lot of people getting into these markets and then buying shit tokens and scam coins. They're looking at Bitcoin's price and going, oh, well, that's thousands of dollars. And it is. It's the most expensive cryptocurrency, but you can buy fractions of it. You don't have to buy one. You can buy fractions of it. You're talking about great technology, great development team. The the big kahuna of cryptocurrencies, one that's stood the test of time thus far. But they see that Bitcoin would have to go to 20,000 just to make 100% increase, or in this case with today's pricing it would be 16,000. It would have to go all the way up to 16 for them to make 100%. When they can buy some scam ass bullshit token that it won't even be around in 1 year's time, maybe 2 months' time, definitely in 2 or 3 years' time, but they can make money off these massive pump and dumps. Yeah, you can make money off them. I've told people that we can also get fried in those too. I don't believe in pump and dumps. I'm not one for Ponzi schemes and pump and dumps. I don't want that. I want that in my life, and I don't want to be that type of person that profits off those things. That's just my moral stand with it. Other people don't share my morals or my views or opinions, and that's fine too. But here's the problem. You're going to destroy the whole fucking thing. Because more and more money that everyone spreads around to all these bullshit coins that have no future, no existence, no tech, terrible development teams, you're just simply entering it based off hype, ads you saw, bullshit con artists who are fucking you over these things and trying to pump these coins so they can make money. Well, what you're going to do eventually is you're going to bring down regulation in the bad sense. You're going to bring down... You're taking all this market cap away from the actual legitimate companies with legitimate technology, with legitimate futures. And I know one of the arguments would be, well, Phil, who are you to say which is which? Well, I can tell you something right now. Bitcoin's technology and Litecoin's technology are far superior to IOTA's technology. Or I don't want to get into bashing individual tokens. I'm sorry if people like IOTA, but there's a lot of coins out there that are not going to be around. They're not good technology, and things can always adapt. One of the things is Ethereum. A lot of people love Ethereum, but what people don't really hear from the hypers and the pumpers that they watch is Ethereum has tons of bugs. Many companies that have launched off Ethereum have lost hundreds of millions of dollars. It just goes poof in the night because of the way it's set up. And they're trying to patch that. They're trying to fix that right now. And who knows if that's going to happen or not. Vitaly's a pretty smart dude, but Ethereum has a lot of flaws. It's got way more flaws than Bitcoin does. But again, you're not launching anything off Bitcoin. You're not launching ICOs. So, I'm all for people being able to start companies. I'm all for it. But a lot of these companies are horseshit people. They're pump and dumps. I can go start the Filthy coin next week. I can do it. I can start the Filthy coin. And then I could hire a bunch of advertisers to go put ads all over social media. Even Facebook, who said they were going to ban these ICOs, which I'm happy about. That's a good thing. It's banning the shit scammers off these fucking social media sites so people stop throwing money into stuff they don't know a fucking thing about, other than they're going to get rich and someone told them they were going to get rich. But now they're just changing certain little ones and zeros in there, so they're still getting on Facebook. I saw one again the other day. They're smart. The scammers are smart. They know how to get around it. And it's sad. But, that's life. That's what we're dealing with. So I am terrified that all the money is being taken out of the good coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin. I still think Ethereum is a good coin. They just have a lot of issues. And there's many others. OMGs of the world. Uh, I'm worried that all the money that's being funneled into the markets from new investors or even the veteran investors. I just don't want this to just turn into the penny stocks. That would be a disaster for me. This was meant to change the world. This was not meant to be quick get rich schemes. And if it turns into that, I will be out. I will be done, and I will lose a lot of the hope that I still had left in humanity. I'm not saying that everything's over. I'm not saying that I'm done with this by any stretch of the imagination. I believe in Litecoin. I love Litecoin. All the money that I've invested in it, if it goes down to $5, okay, at least I tried. I gave something a chance that I really cared about. Not many people can say that. Let's say there's a lot of people in this world that can't say that they've done the same. You either go down with your ship. I'm the captain of the Litecoin ship, and if I got to go down on it, then I'll go down on it. And that's fine. I can always make more money. I was a slave before, I'll be a slave after to the same system that we're all enslaved to. And it's just that, there was a lot of hope when I first got into this, and I hope that isn't being extinguished by basically just pure human greed. And, I welcome some regulations. That's what I've said before. I don't have a problem with governments regulating shit and scam coins and all these ICO launches that have nothing back behind them. And that would be a great thing. But, that is how, when you determine value from a variety of different reasons. The coin's platform, the coin's technology, the different things that the founders or the marketing teams are going after and trying to improve not only their technology, but also open up markets to them in order to get these things in use and for people to see how easy and wonderful it's going to be with decentralized systems. Right now, we don't see that yet. We're not in the adoption phases, but adoption hopefully is coming soon, and we can start seeing how all of these things work in a real economy. So yeah, value is the perception, folks. It's whatever you perceive it to be. I am not a pumper. I do not come out on these videos and tell you, oh, you should buy this coin or that coin or whatever. I always tell everyone that these markets are volatile as hell. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. You got a lot of technical analysis guys. Some of this stuff is legit, no question, some of the analysis. But, these markets they're nuts. We don't know which government's going to come out and bash something, and then the next day, just all these people that don't know anything about these markets, don't know how to invest, are just like, oh, we better pull. I read an article. I better pull all my money out now. I made 12% since I bought it. They don't know anything about this shit. So these things can go. Like I was having a conversation on Facebook the other day with a couple other friends. We were talking about these charters. Like, it's funny, man. I go on YouTube and I see these guys and they got like triangles and they're drawing their dinosaur charts and some of the stuff makes sense, but they're very smart. They cover their asses on both ends. For instance, they'll say, well, with this current volume and the way that I see here, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and then they're like, okay, so we could go up to 19,000. This could be the big run in the Fibonacci here, and this is what it's telling me. Or we could, 5 minutes later, or we could go all the way back down to 5 in Bitcoin. That's a very realistic scenario. And if you go back and you look at all their videos for the last year and a half, they're doing the same thing over and over and over again with just drawing different lines on charts. So yeah, you can cover your ass on both sides, and then that way when shit hits the fan, it goes through the floor, you're going to be like, oh, see, I told you so. Go back to this video. I said it could go there. And then if the thing goes, well past 20,000, it goes up to, 40,000, they're like, oh, yeah, see, I told you. I told you it was going to go through the roof. You just listen to me. I don't do any of that bullshit with you guys. It's not my style, dude. I'm a hodler. I will be till the very end. no matter what happens. If I make a ton of money, if I make no money, you know, I put my flag down, I put my stake in the ground, and I'm gonna ride this baby out, win or lose, and that's fine with me. Um, but as always, I am not your financial advisor. Tell you what I do with my money. I try to give you guys insight into this world. I really do want to help people. I want to be straightforward and honest with them at all times. Um, and who knows what's going to happen. In my opinion, I think the future's still bright, but there's a lot of things that I've seen over the last couple of weeks. Richard Hart bailing out on everyone today, which is really sad. You know, I don't. There's a lot of worry right now, and there's a lot of, and some of it's genuine. Like I told you, I hate these ICOs. I hate the thousands and thousands of coins that all these people are just pumping up through the roof, and then they're just crashing. That is not sustainable. If that's going to keep continuing, this is a fucking bubble, and this is not going to end well. Total. Absolutely. Take that shit to the bank. If we can regulate and we can control these scam ass screwballs from making the filthy coin next week just to get your, you know, make a quick couple million, 20 million. You know, I'm going to create the coin that's going to reverse global warming, the filthy coin. And I'll put that on there, and I'll put some bullshit charts up, and I'll have some bullshit tech guy come on and do some videos, and then all this fucking money will come flying in. And it's a fucking scam. It's a scam, you dumbasses. But we'll see what happens. So, but like I said, I'm still hopeful. Just having a rough day here with some of the things I've been seeing and reading about. But I'm still holding Litecoin. I'll be buying more tonight and tomorrow. Love Charlie Lee. It's one of my favorites, man. So you guys have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday. Don't eat too many chicken wings. I think I'm going to call it a quit. Calling it quits here. Love you guys. Fucking hodl. Keep fucking hodling Litecoin, baby. Talk to you guys later. Bye.